Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. This is meteorologist Andy Agudeyev, and as you can see, winter storm warnings are in effect across most of Virginia, most of western North Carolina, northeastern Georgia, northwestern South Carolina, eastern Kentucky, southern West Virginia, and even a tiny bit of Delaware is under winter storm warning right there. And there's even a storm warning there's even a bunch of storm warnings off the coast for storm force winds, which are wind gusts in excess of 15 miles per hour off the coast right now. Looking elsewhere across the country, there's some winter weather advisories in effect for the passes and for the higher elevations in the Cascades. There's also a couple of flood warnings in effect right here. As you can see, those little green dots. That's for the heavy rain that just passed through from the storm. There's some river flooding that's going on right now. There's still flooding ongoing from all that heavy rain. And looking off the coast, you can see there are gale warnings in effect. These are small craft advisories. These are gale warnings, and that's a storm warning in effect. Looks like there's some gale warnings in effect for the coastal northwest because of heavy rain there. You know, it's a storm there, so there's some strong. There are gale warnings in effect for the northwest coast because of some strong winds that are coming through with a passing disturbance. And now we're going to look at the models. Let's look at the GFS right now, which is showing a progressing storm that's currently going off the coast. The new model does have some light snow reaching DC, and I'm going to take a look at the radar. It looks like DC is starting to get some snow now. And after that storm leaves, as I said, there's a storm along the west coast right now that's starting to bring some pretty heavy rain and snow to the higher elevations in Washington and Oregon. And that storm will quickly dissipate, and then following on the heels will be another storm, which will bring some pretty heavy rain towards Washington State and Oregon. Even a bit of Northern California will get into the action as well. And after that will be another storm. Just storm after storm after storm coming into the west coast. And look at that one. That's a pretty potent storm. And look at this. The storm that's going to be hitting on Wednesday, will come into the middle of the country and form a pretty powerful area of low pressure. Look at this. And a very, very deep dip in the jet stream. I mean, look at this really deep trough right here. But it's going to be so deep that it's going to cut off from the main part of the jet stream, and this will become a cutoff low. Look at that right there. That's a cutoff low. That cutoff low is going to basically pinwheel south of us, bringing rain to New York City. I mean, this is still pretty far out, so I don't know if that's going to happen, but West Coast is going to be hammered with a lot of storms. I mean, look at this. Just walloped with rain after rain, storm after rainstorm. I mean, look at all these rain amounts here. Rainfall exceeding 18 inches. That'll cause a lot of flooding and mudslides. And if that's snow, that's going to be a huge, huge amount of snow. I mean, let's look right now. 53 inches of snow, 150 inches of snow. That's a lot of snow. And remember that upper level low I was talking about earlier? Yep. It looks like that upper level low is going to produce some light snow across the Ozarks. Right here, boom. And it's just going to be a rain event for us. I mean, this could bring some snow, but pretty unlikely. I mean, I'll look at the European right now, see what's going to happen, but this is the Canadian, actually. Let's look at the European Center for Mid-Range Weather Forecast, since it's more accurate. Looks like some sort of event will hit the Northeast. Look at all the snow, 155 inches for the northwest coast. This is extreme. And yes, the Pacific Northwest is going to get quite a series of storms, and the DC area is currently getting a fair amount of snow because of all those advisories. Okay, let's look at Washington National Radar. This is the terminal Doppler weather radar. This is going to show where it's snowing and where it's not. And it looks like snow is starting to come in now into DC. So DC might get an inch of snow at least. So it looks like it will affect the DC area. And they might actually have to extend the winter storm warning northward. Because already Manassas is getting some snow. Manassas, Virginia is starting to get some snow now. They're also under winter weather advisory at the moment. See? Manassas, Virginia is already starting to get some snow. They said 3 inches of snow tonight, so the areas just south of DC is going to get some snow. As I recall in the last video, I mentioned that there's going to be a very sharp cutoff from DC southward. See? Highest amounts in the southern portions of the area. So Richmond is already getting some pretty heavy snow. Temperatures around 31 degrees in Richmond. Between 30 and 31, so I'll say 30.9 degrees right now in Richmond. Yeah, 31 degrees. They're saying wintry mix. But it's all snow right now. They're even issuing winter storm warnings for about 6 to 12 inches of snow. No, 2 to 4 inches. With total snow, additional 2 to 4 inches of 6 to 10 inches. Looking at Appomattox. Okay, heavy snow, 28 degrees. Looking at the winter storm warning for the area. For total additional snow accumulations of 4 to 8 inches. Total of 12 to 16. So yep, this is quite a storm. And looking at the Weather Channel, let's see what they're saying. Let's see what the Weather Channel's saying. 400,000 people without power. I said that hundreds of thousands of people were going to be without power. I was right. As expected. 400,000 people without power. So my predictions came to fruition, and it's still ongoing. This is an ongoing event. So I mentioned that hundreds of thousands of people will be without power, and unfortunately, I was right. This is a disaster. I mean, and it's still snowing. This is a very, very heavy, very, very extreme snow. This is an extremely dangerous storm, and there's severe weather in Florida too. Let's look at Jacksonville radar right now. I think they already had some severe weather. Just looking at the radar right now for the south. Yeah, it looks like not too much. But yeah, this is an extreme storm. No doubt about it. This is definitely a blizzard. I will even call this the blizzard of 2018 because there's a lot of wind with this storm. I mean, look at this. Wind gusts up to 54 knots. That's a blizzard. And looking at HRRR, let's look at the wind gusts, surface wind gusts. Definitely a blizzard. Some areas definitely getting blizzard conditions. Let's look at surface visibility. This is just an awful storm. This is definitely an extreme storm, and I mean, I'm just shocked to see this happen this time of year, this early in the year, and this far south. This is just unbelievable. Look at these wind gusts here. I mean, with this kind of wind, it might. This is gonna be absolutely blizzard conditions. Right here. Looks like an additional 10 inches of snow is definitely possible. Based on this, it's saying that the snow will be winding down soon. Let's look at the radar. Take a look at this. Currently, the models are saying that this precip will be ending soon, which is definitely understandable, but then look what's happening here. It's just going to reform itself. So there's going to be more freezing rain, so even more people might lose power tomorrow because of this. Let's look at freezing rain accumulation. This is what's going to determine how many people lose power from this storm. Looks like there might actually be sleet coming down. Looks like not too much more freezing rain. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Looks like this won't be a disaster for freezing rain, as I suspected earlier. Thank goodness. But still, hundreds of thousands of people lost power because this is heavy, wet snow, and it's just unbelievable. Because whether the storm remains, all snow or even changes freezing rain won't really make much of a difference because this is going to be such a powerful storm. And look at this. Looks like we might get a storm now. Wow. That looks exciting. Nice. Hopefully that will mean us too in New York, because I really want to get a good storm. So this is also going to be a U.S. forecast. This is not just going to be for the storm. This is also going to be, as I said, a U.S. forecast. So let's look at the West Coast first, because now we're going to change gears from the storm to the West Coast. So a good-sized series of storms will be impacting the West Coast. So San Francisco is going to get some rain, possibly on Sunday. So let's see. San Francisco might get some light rain Monday. Then the next shot of rain will be, according to the GFS, will be on Friday. So it'll be about 4 days between the next rain event. An average of about 2 to 3 days between each rain event. So then you'll have a bit of a Pineapple Express setting up. And after this storm, it's going to get pretty cold. And this is going to be a really, really strong blast of cold air coming down. Let's look at this. It's going to be really cold. I mean, look at this cold blast. Just look at this. That is definitely a sign of the NAO going negative. Let's look at the NAO right now. It's definitely going to dip, but then it's going to go more neutral. While the PNA, which usually determines how this winter is going to be, it's going to remain more positive to neutral, and the AO is going to dip down to neutral to more negative, which is also good for snow. So it's going to be kind of neutral, I would say. It's going to, after the AO goes positive, everything's going to become basically neutral. Once you get a neutral condition, that's when you could get equal chances of a snowstorm or rain event or warm up. It's going to get, but if the NAO dips negative, that's a very good sign for a cold blast with snow coming in. Because when you have a negative NAO, that's when you have blocking and you have storms that could ride up the coast and even stall off the coast. So my forecast for the next few weeks is it's going to be gradually getting colder on the East Coast after about the 18th of December. But of course, that can change. But as of now, the end of December looks to be very, very cold for the East Coast. And let's look at the CFS to see if this is going to verify. Just want to make sure it's going to verify, because this is looking almost a month out. Looks like something's going to happen around the 15th. It's probably that coastal storm. And then, yep, looks like a cold blast will definitely develop. Then it's going to warm up. No, wow. Yeah. But then it looks like a warm up should develop by the middle of January. Let's look at the 850 millibar temps. It should be getting cold. Yep, after around Christmas time, very cold blast. Oh, possibility of a coastal storm. It's like a New Year's Day storm possible. But then look at that. This is going to be this is definitely a snowstorm. Look at this. You have a broad area of low pressure developing. Definitely a snow event. Wow, I was wrong about that warm blast coming in. Looks like it's going to remain cold. So from about the 22nd, it's going to get very cold. And then it's just going to remain cold. Maybe a little warm up there. Then it's going to get cold again. And let's look at the Canadian model. Yep, this is the Canadian model right now. Let's look at it at that model. Total precipitation accumulation from that rain event, obviously. That's a lot of rain. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of freezing rain there too. Wow. Where's that snow? Nope, it looks like it should be freezing rain. That's not good. Well, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye. But so it looks like not much snow for the Northeast. A lot of snow for the Northwest in the next 10 days. And looks like a cold snowpack might keep things a little bit cold in the Southeast. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.